times quickly. You guys just did it 260 times rather than adding all yours up. And here's why. Here's why. Let me make this fit better. So I've got a similar setup now. And David, what you said earlier is so vital. I'm now running 2 different dice. There's my first die, number 1, ran between 1 to 6. Here's my second die, ran between 1 to 6. Here's the sum of those 2. That's different than one 11-sided die. Good. Now, what you guys just did, I want you to pay attention to a couple different things. You see these guys down here? Those are the individual dice being rolled. Do they look familiar to you?
Yeah.
That looks an awful lot like the single die spreadsheet we just looked at, right? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop at 260. Because that's what we would have rolled, right? There's 260. Now even though it's noisy and kind of annoying to look at, you can already see something's going on. You can already tell it's not the horizontal line that the other one was. It's definitely some noise. I mean, look how many snake eyes it had. We got a bunch of unhappy people playing craps right now. Right? And you know that shouldn't be 5%. What's 1 over 36? It's closer to 3%, isn't it? Yeah? This is way too high. So if people are at the craps table playing craps and getting this, they're gonna be like, oh God, the table's cold. They're gonna walk away. Now, you should walk away anyway, because you're out of money, eventually. They're just losing it a little too quickly in that short term. Let's see what happens as we keep rolling. As we keep rolling. Let's watch this thing even out. So now what I want you guys to do is I've unfortunately covered the board with this graph, but look at your probabilities that you guys have in your notebook and compare them to this column of probabilities right here. 1 in 36, 2 in 36, 3 in 36, 4 in 36, 5 in 36, 6. How are they comparing, friends? Are they comparing pretty well? Yes, they most definitely are comparing pretty well. Did you see what happened to that little 2 right there?
Went down.
He's starting to get, infinity is catching up with him. Yes? We saw a random clumping happen in the beginning. Does that happen? Of course, it just did. It can happen. You don't get snake eyes every 36 rolls. If you've rolled a pair of dice 35 times and have not gotten snake eyes, don't bet on snake eyes next. There's still only a 1 in 36 chance it's going to happen. But it's due! If I ever hear you say that somewhere out in public, I will be so put off. I will not lay a hand on you. But I might cry. Dice are never due. Coins are never due. Machines are never due. Infinity doesn't care about time, because infinity has no bearing on time. Or time has no bearing on infinity, I should say.
Yeah.
So even if you watch somebody take a die and roll a 1, and then a 2, and then a 3, and then a 4, and then a 5, chances are you're not going to roll a 6 next. Chances are you're going to roll something else. I told you about the Powerball commercial, right? Did I tell you about the Powerball commercial? The one from years ago? I got 5 numbers! When the guy's sitting there with the ticket. I told you about this, right?
Yes.
Some of you are saying no. So he's watching the ticket, number by number, and then he's sitting in front of his friends. He's like, I just got 5 numbers! That's awesome, buddy. You've got a $100,000 prize right there. Chances are you don't have 6. I'm that guy. I'm that guy. You've seen the billboard out on 97. Someone just won $948,000. Will you be next? No. Probably not. I'm that guy. And you're becoming those people too. And that makes me very happy. Look at this! Can you beat that? Just look at that. Did anybody notice, as I was talking earlier, there was a spike over here?
Yeah.
Did you notice that? There was a spike. I think it was on 9. Look what's happening. Okay, let this run some more. Thank you again, Kelly, for the bottle here. The movie Casino. No, hang on. The movie Casino. How many seen it? Movie Casino, De Niro, Sharon Stone. I forget the third actor, the third famous actor in it. So there's a scene in that movie. Hang on. I'm just gonna stand here. There's a scene in that movie. There's a number of Japanese businessmen are gambling at De Niro's casino. And I forget what game they're playing. It's some game of chance, and I totally forgot what it is now. Might be blackjack. Might be partially based on skill. And they're playing the casino, and they're hot. They win a bunch of money, and they try to stop. Why? Because they understand statistics. And they've come out ahead, and they want to leave. And what does De Niro do? Do you remember if you've seen the movie? Do you remember what he does? He calls the airport, gets them to fake the plane that they're on. Can't take off. There's been a problem with the plane. Oh, sorry. Tell you what, here, we're gonna comp you the best room in the place. Here's a bunch of chips. Stay for a while they figure out the playing problem. Figure out the playing problem, go gamble some more. Why? Because remember that spike that happened right there at 9?
It's gonna go down.
It's gonna get gobbled up by infinity if you play long enough, and De Niro knew that. Any casino owner knows that. Keep them playing, you'll keep them losing. Sure, the random fluctuations, you're gonna win in the random fluctuations. That's why that billboard exists out on 97. Somebody just won 148. Of course they want you to celebrate the outlier. Because they want you to think you can do that too. By the definition of an outlier, you can't. Right? By the definition of an outlier, you can't do that. But the casino owners, if you keep them playing, you keep them winning. Here's looking forward to where we're going to go on Thursday. Rather than going up and playing craps at the table, rather than walking up and saying, here's $1, give me the dice and let me play, just walk up there and hand them 8 cents and walk away. Because on average, over time, that's all you're doing anyway. Sometimes you win $1, sometimes you lose $1, sometimes you win 2, sometimes you lose 2. But if you average out all your wins and losses, you're losing money on average every single time. So rather than going through all the crap, just hand them 8 cents and walk away. Now, I'm being overly pessimistic about gambling, right? Because gambling is a form of
entertainment.
That's the best answer. Thank God. If I heard anybody say investment, I'll be really pissed at you. Gambling is a form of entertainment. It's just like going to the movies. You go to the movies, you spend $25 on popcorn, $25 on a ticket. You're like, I'm going to spend 3 hours in this dark room with a bunch of sticky seats. But that's a form of entertainment. As long as you can view gambling like that, I'm totally happy. Just realize you're not getting that money back when you're done, on average. You can leave while you're ahead. But if anybody in here treats gambling like an investment, I'll be so put off. I'll just leave it at that. Okay, more on that. Let's firm that up on Thursday, yes?
Okay.
Have fun with the project. I know you will. I had fun. Wow. That was the.
I know.
Wow. That was a. Yeah, I'm just gonna.